Morning, Daddy-O. So I can't. Rocker, come on, dog. Ready to crush beast. Brad, you ain't gotta. You can kind of chill out on the modding right now. Just let them do what they want to do for right now. Quest log we got going on here. Free the Highland soldiers. Gotta pull in at 8. Shit. Hope you ain't got a long drive because it's already 7:10 here. It's a blue jewel. What weapon I got on you? You got the brutal poleaxe of gore. How was my job yesterday? It was fine. It was fine. Oh shit, there's a Fertle's one. That's a good find for Necromancer. I think that's +1 Necromancer skills, which I think I have +1 Necromancer skills. I don't know, we'll check it out. That was a good find though. Nah, I ain't trying to go work with you on the farm, Doug. Thank you for the offer, though.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon.
Hey, Dance
and
Puppets.
come at night, mostly.
We got Sharptooth the Slayer here. Mercenary, come over here and kill this dude.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon.
Bobby
and they
Borselli.
must come at
Appreciate it,
night.
dude. Oh, damn.
Mostly.
West Berkshire Gamers, thank you for the 5 subs, homie.
We better get back, because it'll be dark
Let's see.
soon,
Loved you.
and they must
I recently
come at
started
night.
playing it since I've seen you play it. I forgot about this game. So good. What did you make? What did you make, Ethan? You playing single player at Battle.net? Alright, 2 rejuvenation potions here. Mana and a health potion.
We better get
My
back,
mercenary is
'cause
being
it'll be dark
a punk.
soon, and they mostly come at night.
Thank you, Addison.
Mostly.
Oh, still the gifted subbies. I gotta say, Poison Nova works wonderful in this area.
We better get back, because it'll be dark
I've never really
soon,
made a
and they mostly
Poison
come at
Nova
night.
Necromancer,
Mostly.
so I didn't realize how good it was in like against these like multiple weak enemies. Like even against enemies that it's not that great against, it's still pretty good because like it just does offhand damage. Because you're poisoning everything else around him anyway.
Mostly.
Hey Wings, you ever play that one game like a little clone? You're talking about I know what you're talking about, but no, I didn't. The one with like 15,000 skill trees and shit like that. Like, be perfectly honest, Diablo 2 is like the only like looter, or the Diablo series by itself is like really the only looter game like this that I actually enjoy playing. Like if you went and slapped another series on it with its own world, and it was exactly like this, I probably wouldn't care because it doesn't, like, for me, like, the enjoyment of the game is finding items that I recognize and, like, fighting monsters that have, like, this aesthetic. I know it sounds dumb, but, like, it is what it is. Path of Exile. It's a pre-green spin. I prefer it over Diablo 3. Yeah, Diablo 3 is just... Don't get me wrong. I thought Diablo 3 was a great sequel to the game, but they streamlined it way too much. Diablo 3 was just streamlined way too much. It got to the point where like the entire game was just like this dumb kill as many enemies as humanly possible game. And like the console variations of the game were even worse, because like they had like a supercharged like item find rate, so like you would be drastically overpowered by the time you got to Act 2. I don't even know what Bailey's whining about right now. Bailey, be good. Let me go see what Bailey's whining about. barking at Bongo. Dude, my mercenary is being annoying as hell.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Hey, Bobby, back to the lobby. Oh, no, it's never. Bobby, back to the lobby would be a tight name, though. Back to the lobby. Thank you, dude, for the subscription. Alright, there's some more barbarians. We get 5 more of these bad boys. All Limos does is short and wing streams and repost them. Only thing that's funny are his 10-second intros, let's be real. That's basically all any of the channels do. They take my content and re-upload them for money. None of them really do anything wonders and grandiose with it. Oh, the troll channels are dead. And let me point it out to you. It took like a week and a half of me having a smaller webcam to kill the troll channels off, right? Like all of them really stopped uploading the whole nine. Everybody's complaining, man, make the camera bigger, make the camera bigger. Like, the camera is what controls the troll channels. Like, if I took the camera off completely, the troll channels would go away completely. What happened to Daisy? Daisy went to live with my grandma's brother. Because to be perfectly honest, when they asked me if I wanted Daisy, I already had 4 pets and I was pretty much at my capacity. Capacity for pets, because like you gotta look, like each pet that you have pretty much costs you $1,000 a year on average. So like right now I have around $4,000 worth of expenses in pets, and Daisy would have added another, and it's like I can't realistically afford a 5th animal. Like, I feel like 4 might be a little too much. But, like, we have them now. We'll take care of them. It's our responsibility. Do fish count as a pet? I don't think fish count in my algorithm as a pet. Like, because fish are a lot easier to take care of. Like, their food goes a lot longer and things like that. You don't really take fish to vet visits either.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night.
And you gotta keep fish up on the old shots. Hey Jake, thanks for subscribing. Amarillo's where I'll be.
Good evening.
Let's go talk to Kane.
Thank you. Good evening.
Oh, my local vet like charges. Oh, there's a good joke. It's a good charm too. That's a good charm. You can go. You're going in the box. I'm gonna keep Infernals 1 just in case we find another piece of Infernals we can use later. Amarillo by morning. Amarillo's where I'll be. We're gonna sell this.
Evening.
So now we could go with a barbarian. So you need 100 strength for that. Let's go for the gold chest. Let's see, you think you'll replay with a different character after this one? It all depends on how much the views get. Like I only got 173 viewers right now. And like to me that's super disappointing. Like I'd like to have 300 viewers for something like this. Like yesterday Skyrim only pulled like 280 viewers. So like with those numbers in mind, like the single player games probably are going to stop here soon, and I'm just going to go back to getting team killed on Rainbow. Because at least Rainbow pulled 500 to 600 viewers, and like you got to have that to grow. If you're going to grow at all, you got to have numbers. And this isn't going to cause growth. Yeah, I understand that you enjoy it, but at the same time, like sometimes you gotta make choices. Because like people don't show up for me specifically, they show up for the game. Like even though like these streams I'll talk a lot more and I'll be a lot more interactive with chat, people don't care about that. I'd actually get better growth just sitting here talking with my webcam up. I just contradicted myself. How is that?
Switch to DCS ranging.
Hey, when you said unban me in November hasn't
We're
happened.
in the pipe. 5 by 5.
Can somebody unban Albino Sloth Bear, please? Dude, I don't even have anywhere to fish. Worthless. There's not at least one boss in this area? Time to rethink those American trucks. You really tell me to rethink American trucks while you're telling me to ride a Land Rover, which is owned by Tata Motors, and they use a 2.0-liter Ford engine in them. So the engine in the Land Rover is an American truck's engine. The 2.0, the Ford puts in the Lincoln and some of like the Ford Fiestas and shit, and the old Explorer. This is people talking shit, not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. Matter of fact, let's just confuse them. Kind of spread the damage around. Why do you take everyone's opinions on vehicles so personal? I don't really. Can you guys share the stream to see if we can get the viewer count up? Because I really want to play this game, but at this point, I feel like it's probably best just to end the stream and just fire Rainbow or like Warzone or something up. What's the last game I beat on stream? I mean, technically, this one. There's certain games that you just don't beat. Like, you don't really beat Skyrim. I'm not talking about in the stream. Well, I'd refire the stream up because people go based on like what the games we play is that show up. Because like if I just switched over to Warzone here, I'd get no viewers. So my best case scenario is to end the stream and fire it back up with Warzone in the title. Hey, Fantasia for life. Hey, Mick Bennett. Yeah, have we unbanned albino sloth bear yet? Oh, you can beat Diablo. I mean, like, once I beat Bale, I'll technically have beaten this game on stream. It is what it is. It feels like I'm constantly running out of stamina as a necromancer. Let me look him up. Alright. Unban albino. ALBINO sloth bear 1. I got him. Thanks for trying, boys. Let's go check the pit of the Arshan. See what's in the pit of the Arshan. Mercenary, go help, bud. Go stand here in the corner. Are you mouse and keyboard right now? Any chance of R6 mouse and keyboard? No, I don't do first person shooters, mouse and keyboard. Am I good at any game? Like, what's wrong? How am I playing this game poorly? I'm slow at this game. It's supposed to be fast paced. I'm playing on the equivalent of having a full game of players in here with a very weak build. Like, Poison Necromancers are DOT. So, like, I'm playing this on the highest possible difficulty I can play it on. There's a rare flamberge. This isn't like softcore one players. Like if I kick the game difficulty down, like yeah, I could probably fuck this shit up for you. Like when I started this character, this is the build that people voted for. They wanted Poison Necromancer, so we're doing Poison Necromancer. We cleared 200 viewers, boys. Let's do it. Let's get it. At least that's a little bit. Maybe we get 300 now. Take a little bit for people to file in. Yeah, but like I'm aware the build I have is really fucking slow. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that my entire build's set up on damage over time. So like to do that, I gotta make sure I control the enemies. And enemy corpses have to fall where I need them to fall. Yep, low resist poison, keep kiting. But it also helps because I'm grouping, because like my mercenary's not having trouble staying alive, so I'm going to have to kite like hard. There's a shell rune. Let's go. One thing I hope with Diablo 2 Resurrection, that they allow like ladder runes into single player experiences. There should be a boss in here somewhere. There's a champion pack.
Switch to DCS ranging.
240, nominal to profile.
We're in the pipe. 5 by 5.
Gonna have to go with life tap here. Let's see. Diablo 2 is life. Gotta show some love for the classic. I donate more, but I can't, dog. You're fine, homie. Save myself some money here.
Good afternoon.
What do you got here? Give me a dude. Flamberg. This is 50 poison every second. It's a lot of lightning damage. Debating going for the barbarian. Nah, we'll keep this. We'll keep this. Do. I need to buy some mana pots. Good. That possessed one is fucking my homie up. Here's what needs to happen.
Thanks.
Alright. I should be able to tag him. The hack 2 with Holy Freeze, that you don't get that till Nightmare. Like, this takes a little bit longer, but like at least with life tap, homeboy's safe. I ain't got to worry about having to revive him. You should put your mouse over the skill, and you can make a hotkey for it. I do have hotkeys, like you see down here, but like there's certain hotkeys I don't have access to. Like I'm kind of out of like fast hotkeys. So like anything I don't really like use a whole lot. Like I don't really use amp damage and life tap that often. All right, let's try this. We can't decrepify him. Dude, this possessed Hell Lord is taking forever to kill. Because he's weak, he's resistant to magic. We'll get him. Just might take a couple runs to town. Insert your wand inside of him. Yeah, I wish I could stick my wand up his butt. There we go. My mercenary heal a little bit. Orange juice or apple juice? Every time you don't answer this question, I get more frustrated. I'm not even trolling. I'm drinking apple juice as we speak, but you're starting to piss me off. I mean, like, it all depends. Like, I drink both. not as serious as you're making it out to be.
Not enough money.
Here, get your health back. Get your health back, playa. Alright, slow but sure pushing through this Arsharon pit. Arsharon pit. Arsharon. See, what do you think about the new streaming platform that's supposed to be overtake Twitch? Are you going to convert? Probably not. Twitch treats me right. So one socket poleaxe. I wish you could give potions to Gollum, so we wouldn't have to recast his ass. Alright, mercenary, why are you going and standing in the fucking corner? Alright. Alright, ban Dark MU2, please. Yeah, but I hate going to the function keys. I don't know if you noticed, but I have all my hotkeys set up to letters. And there's certain letters on the left side of the keyboard I don't want to set, like S is my skill bar. Like I could do Z, but it's a thing as well. Like I don't use it that like I'm not using them that often to feel like I need to like amp damage or life tap needs its own hotkey.
Because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly.
And generally, when I do use them, it's in a situation where I'm not in like a huge hurry. So I kind of keep them on stuff I use a lot of. Like I got lower resistance and Nova and stuff like that on hotkeys. What do we got here? Prod Desk, thank you for the subscription, my friend. Hopefully this Parasol is good. Alright, so we cleared the pit of the Arsharon. Yeah, Diablo 2 is PC only. The new game is going to be on consoles as well, though. Necromancer needs a breather. Yeah, Diablo 2 Resurrection is coming out this year. So you can play this game in HD. Let's hope this is like a brutal Parasan or something like that. It'd be fucking tight.
Salutations.
Let's go see what we got.
Stay a while and listen.
It is a silver. It does 76 damage, which is more than mine.
I can't use that.
Which he can't use it because he's a punk. If we find a white Parasan, I might use my imbue quest on it. Let's go make that one thing here. Yeah, Diablo 2 is coming for consoles, and they're remastering it. So like it's going to be $40. It comes with Lord of Destruction, which is what I'm playing right now. You know what? I'm not going to use any of these things right here. Let's just sell them. Runes are more important.
What do you need?
Space is at a premium right now. I'm just wondering how the console version is going to play, because that's the one I'm buying, the PS5 version of the game. So guys, any tips on how to grow more on Twitch? Yeah, other than catering to the live game. It's like I feel like I should be popular enough to pull 300 or 400 viewers even on this game at this time, and I'm not doing that. Granted, I'm happy that I'm over 200 viewers now, but I was kind of expecting 300, and like I know that's, you know, expecting it all. What you expect and what you get is two different things. I'm just trying to figure out how like I can constantly draw people to my thing, because I don't want to be stuck playing one simple game all the time, right? Like I don't want to be stuck playing Rainbow or Battlefield or whatever it might be. I don't want to be a one-trick pony that can't go anywhere else. I'd much rather be like a Lyric or a Summit where people show up for me. And like some people do show up for me, but like it's obvious they don't all show up for me. The problem with doing in real life streams is the trolls. Like, you can't do it in real live streams without giving away like information about yourself. Besides, Lyric never did in real life streams. Lyric doesn't even use a face cam, and he pulls 30,000 viewers. When does the remaster come out? It hasn't got a date yet, but they said it's this year. So take that with what it is. Probably sometime before Christmas of this year. Yeah, see, like, that's a bunch of games I don't play. Like, I don't like Rockstar games for the most part. I think their controls are antiquated as fuck, and they pander to the least common denominator. Dude, I don't want to fucking exercise, though. Here's the truth. I might never lose weight, and I'm at the point where I don't want to implement my weight loss shit into work. See, I just meant for me for like something simple that you can control and stream, not that you had to exercise. I don't know. I'm fucking boring. Maybe Battlefield 6 will do something for me. Like, last time I played Battlefield a lot on stream. I pulled 1,000 viewers. Old thresh socket. How's this a pity stream? Wings Redemption is unhappy that he's playing a 40-year-old game and no viewers show up. Pity stream. Alright. Like, Poison Nova should eat through these guys. They have no health. What is the viewer base for Diablo 2 right now? I have no clue. The problem with the 1-minute talks on Discord and shit like that is a vast majority of people will just come in and spam hate words. Frozen Creeper can be poisoned. Oh, there's a unique two-handed sword. What was that? I forgot what that is. Thank you, Rocco. Come on, Rocco. I can't see, bud. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My mercenary really needs a better weapon. Run into a lot of moon lords. Well, I mean, like, Mercadurka has like 1,500 subscribers. And he doesn't even stream regularly. So there's that, too.
Switch to DCS ranging.
Pimp Trisket, not to be an ass, but you're likable when you're honest, not trying to sound like an expert and give advice on complex subjects you know anything about. That's all people ask me about, is complex subjects. Like, the only thing people ever ask me about is either car stuff or complex subjects. See you, Brad.
Switch to DCS ranging.
I'm not taking shots at America.
We're in the pipe.
I'm just saying, like, I've looked at other people's streams.
Hey Wings, thanks for streaming.
Have you ever tried Scott's Barbecue over in Hemingway?
I have not. Feel like that could be a fun stream. But see, it's so. The thing is, I don't want to risk it, right? Like even if I had my wife stream while we drove. I'd have to, that's still like a risk. Oh, insert person wasn't paying complete attention to the road. He was answering questions. You should ban him. I can't force myself to sound happy. That's just not who I am as a person. I'm a chill motherfucker. Champion Snowdrifter. See, there's the frozen river. That goes to Anya. You don't want to go down there yet. I'm going to get the waypoint first.
Switch to DCS ranging.
240, nominal to profile.
We're in the pipe.
I do know that, Pimp Trisket. But at the same time, like, I feel like the car shit runs people off. Cars are something I'm passionate about. But at the same time, like, I'm aware that most people don't give a flying fuck or even know what I'm talking about with cars. You were telling me the other day on Siege, why don't you play some universal mode like in WWE 2K19? Dog. I bought a wrestling game to play with Chris Katera a few years back at this point. And like, I hated the new wrestling game, so I've never bought another one. Like, I like the old wrestling games by like Jax, which were basically like on the Nintendo 64 and shit like that. Those were fire. Like, and people were still playing like WCW Revenge, NWO World Tour, shit like that. WCW, WWF No Mercy. Those were fire ass wrestling games. I'm not crazy into the new ones. It's not to mention I don't even know any of the new wrestlers. Like last time I played a wrestling game, like half the fucking roster didn't know like who the fuck's Jack Swagger. I don't know who the fuck Jack Swagger is. My daddy be following hoes on Facebook. No, I have not tried Valheim by chance. I was looking for that movie Lighthouse that they were talking about last night. I couldn't find it on Hulu. I guess it's probably on like Prime or something. You getting LASIK? The reason I've never gotten LASIK or even tried to get LASIK surgery is, one, I look weird without glasses, and two, it goes away. Like, every person I've ever seen get LASIK surgery, like within like 5 to 8 years, they're back in glasses. So like, you're basically paying like $5,000-$6,000 to not wear glasses for 5 years. I've never seen it actually stick. Like, part of me feels like I'm messing my build up by pumping poison over right now, whereas I feel like this would be a better thing to like pump up damage wise. I don't know. Like, I think in the long run it won't matter because I'm gonna end up maxing them both and poison dagger. Yeah, my buddy Mark got it when we were in high school, and by the time he was like, I don't know, last time I seen him he was back in glasses. It might have been a little bit more, it might have been like a decade. Also, they're not keen on like fat people getting it either, because like drastic weight loss changes can change your vision. Yeah, you could be right. I'm just saying, I've known multiple people that got it that ended up being back in glasses. It could be different, but like, I know they just still use like lasers that change the shape of your eye. There's the waypoint I was looking for.
Good evening.
See, like, I wish I had a bigger inventory. I'd keep something like that, because that's a good ass amulet. 40 lightning resist, 5 dexterity, level 18 requirement. This is Shadowfang.
At your service.
I'm wondering if everybody that got it is back in glasses. Like, I wonder if it's because they didn't change the habit that put them in glasses in the first place. Like for example, I sit 3 feet from a monitor, right? like my vision hasn't gotten worse in years, but like, is that to say that if I corrected my vision back to where it was, would my vision not get worse again? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go to the frozen river. What do you mean? Like what conditions you look at? Like how does can you elaborate on that? See, like once I get higher in difficulties, like this kind of group of monsters are going to be more difficult. Because like the abominals and like the succubus, I can easily kill. I'm not so sure about like the rot walkers. Like those would have to be 100% of my mercenary. Because like they're not immune to poison right now, but they're heavy resistant. And like I don't know if in Nightmare they'll be immune, but in Hell they most definitely will be. I guess in Hell difficulty everything's random anyway, so it's, I don't know. I mean, like there's people out there playing games that you never even heard of every day. Like there's some dude that wakes up every day and like runs the leaderboard of like a PUBG knockoff. Like you guys remember that game that was like Overwatch clones? What was that shit called?
Not enough money.
Can't remember the name of the game right off the top of my head. But like, it was like an Overwatch clone that was real cartoony. I think they shut the server down, but forever, like there was like 200 people that played that shit every fucking day. Just so they could brag that they were like #1 in the world and fucking knock off Overwatch. You'd be surprised how far people will go for a little bit of colored ribbon. I think Napoleon Bonaparte said that. That men, you'd be surprised how many men will die for a bit of colored ribbon. Battleborn, yeah. What was the game that knocked off Call of Duty Search and Destroy? You're talking about Rainbow Six. I think that's the game you're referring to.
I need my
Oh my lord, no, this guy can fuck me up. Hold the fuck on. I mean, like, if you want to chase, feel free to chase, homie. Because I will kite you around and poison over you to fucking death. I did hardly anything. Have you considered the possibility that Lummox removed his videos because he had a change of heart and no longer wants to be a troll? It's possible. Possibility. I'm not 100% against that theory. I mean, I've changed a lot of people over the years. Started out trolls and no longer wanted to be trolls. Alright, Gollum. Let's go back over here and deal with... You're going to have to help Gollum here, Kazim. Because my goal was to spread these guys out because, like, the boss is cursed. Cursed means he puts amp damage on. Amp damage takes 50% of your defense away and it amplifies their attack by 50%. So it's basically a 100% damage increase. So we want to fight him with life tap on by himself if possible. There we go. Where's the blue one at? There you go. Put life tap on. And let him slowly tear that dude down. You gotta go pee pee, bud? Back in my COD days, which one? World War II? I was a completely different person in World War II. Oh, don't go after me, dog. There's a mercenary right there. This motherfucker, dog. If that's the case, Golem can't keep himself up. We're just going to have to damage you. This motherfucker came straight after me, beelining it. Like, World War II was actually like the height of my depression. Like, I was stuck between a rock and a hard spot. Like, I was so tired of being who I was. I was viciously lonely. Like, I was noticing my grandmother was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Because, like, trolls tend to believe that you can't see a problem with foresight. Like, my air conditioner, for example. Like, I started complaining about my air conditioner a couple years ago. And, like, since then, I've put $800 into my air conditioner just to keep it running. Because I'm just trying to get as much years as possible out of it before I have to put $5 into it to replace it, right? It's just me trying to be cheap. But, like, my grandma started getting sick way, like, early on. And, like, I know this sounds bad. You know, my grandmother, she grew up like a housewife her whole life. She never really worked outside the house. And when you started seeing things, like, for example, like, growing up as a kid in my grandma's house, there would never be a dirty dish. There was no such thing as a dirty dish in the sink. And when I started noticing that she, like, you could put, like, a dish in the sink and she wouldn't wash it, that's when I know she wasn't feeling good. I know that sounds terrible. So, like, I ended up, you know, when I had to end up start washing dishes and stuff like that, it's like, okay, she's starting to feel bad. And that's like a tip that, you know, something's physically wrong. I don't know how we got to this subject.
Switch to DCS ranging.
240, nominal to profile.
We're in the pipe. 5 by 5.
The guy asked the question is Woody said, I sell my mental health. Let's see. Woody said on Restream, you sell your mental health for money. Do you think that's true? Also, you also said in the past, don't ask about my personal life, but you've done streams where you talked about your personal life, kind of hypocritical. It's not really. I mean, like, it could. Yeah, it's hypocritical, but at the same time, it all depends on what mood you're in at the time. There's streams where I allowed people to be trolling, and there's other streams where, like, I'm just fed up with it. Like, I've had a bad day, and people still poke the bear. It's kind of obvious going into, like, what kind of mood I'm in. It's just like the other day, like, I was getting upset at mods. Just because I'm upset at you at that moment doesn't mean I'm going to, like, sit here and hold a grudge. Like, generally, if you just get through it and let me be a baby for a minute, it'll be over with. So at the end of the day, I'm an adult and I know what I have to do. I just sometimes don't have the best coping mechanisms. But do I sell my mental health for money? I would say that used to be true. Not so much more nowadays. Because, like, I let a lot more slide off my back now than I used to. Like, but I used to stress out. Like, right now I have like 250 viewers on my stream. I would be going on full-blown panic mode. Like, on stream. If that was happening, like, in 2017. Because, like, the idea of, like, just the utter, like, feeling of being a failure would be overwhelming me to the point where I couldn't even do a stream. Like, I couldn't even talk and put sentences on. Like, it would take my entire mind over. Like there was nothing I could think about other than the sub count number. And, like, I've gotten better about that. Like, there's situations where, like, I just don't keep the stream numbers up. Like, I'm keeping them up now because they're slowly but surely going up. I'm hoping I can get them to 300 today. Like, if I could get them to 300, that made me feel good. But at the same day, like yesterday, I was really depressed. And being really depressed, I was super sad that Skyrim didn't pull 300 viewers. So, like, I went and laid down and cried and shit like that
240, nominal to profile.
before I went to work.
Pipe 555.
Because, like, I had that feeling of, like, I'm failing as a person. You know, and that's the same reason, like, I ask questions like, what can I do to help grow the channel? Like, how can I make this so, like, I can do other things besides Warzone to make, you know, ends meet, or, like, make it feel like I'm not sitting here stagnating. I'm in trouble. Fuse. How many viewers do I need? There's no set number of viewers that I need because I make the lion's share of my money off of subs and donations. But, like, it feels good to see that you're making a product people actually want to come to. And, like, certain times that you'll get into a situation where you feel like the product that you're making is shit. Because, like, in the back of my mind, I know the product that I'm making is shit. And I want it to be better. I want it to be something that people look forward to every day. And I'm sure some people do, but, like, I want it to be more like a universal standard. But at the same time, I really don't want to do a schedule. Because, like, schedules is what made me start YouTube. Like be able to set my own schedule, stream when I fucking want to stream and shit like that. Like, I have bad authoritarian issues. Can I read your donation? Speaking on mods, Delor does streams where he donates all his earnings to the mods. Do you think in the future you could do a mod appreciation stream because they all do a lot and deserve appreciation? Maybe if we start making more money. It's not so much that it's like that. I just feel like I need to be in a better place financially at my age bracket. Like one of the things I feel like is like you can't take the money for granted, and you can't expect the money to last forever, right? So it's like I need to, and I'm not where I would like to be at this point in my life with earnings. But I could sit there and thank my lucky stars that I'm not Phil, right? Like Phil made a post just yesterday where he said he looked at his bank account before he went to bed, and I know about it. I've been there. I've been there looking at your bank account and being like, shit, I don't know what the fuck to do. But it's been a long time since I've been there. I hope never to get back to that situation. Mercenary, you're so good to me. Let's go identify some stuff.
Yes, warrior. Good evening.
Yeah, I'll probably play more Skyrim soon. But I'm probably going to save Skyrim for like an evening stream, because I feel like Skyrim has the potential to pull 400 viewers. I feel like I just streamed Skyrim at the wrong time yesterday. Because usually Skyrim streams do real well. Rent one of the rooms in the house. I mean, like, at the very most you'd get for that is like $600, and the money I'm talking about wanting to make is considerably more than $600. Like, granted, $600, you know, that's an extra $6,000 a year, I think. Yeah, it's a little six, about $6, almost $7,000 a year, which ain't nothing. But at the same time, you gotta deal with another person living in your house. Like, late night streams can't be a thing. I have to worry about, like, you know, interpersonal relationships. Like, if it's female, I gotta worry about the wife being jealous, and if it's male, I gotta worry about myself being jealous. You know, then you throw in trust issues and situations like that, and like, is you know, is $4,000 to $6,000 worth that headache every year, right? Because in the long run, that's a drop in the bucket. My wife isn't even here right now, but like, it doesn't matter, because like, anything I said is parroted to my wife through my mods anyway. Because anytime my mods get upset, they go straight to my wife on Discord and cry to her. I think the ideal candidate would be like like an LBGT male. But even then, like, finding somebody that consistently pays rent, that's a motherfucking challenge. I don't think motherfuckers realize how much of a challenge that is to find somebody that consistently pays their fucking rent. and not destroy your shit either. Not to mention, like, a tenant has to be good with cats and dogs. No, Gollum, what are you doing, bud? Alright, part of me feels like I need to put some points into Fire Gollum. Strictly because he needs a little bit more health. I mean, mine's quieter than the PS4 was. Like, I don't notice this on with the headset, but like, if you isolate the sound, you can hear it. Yeah. Mine definitely has the capacitor whine that everybody complains about, but I wear a headset, so I don't really give a fuck. Like, it's way quieter than the PS4 Pro, so like, I'm not complaining. That quest just gave me a gave me 10 all resistance scroll, so you get an extra 30 resistance by doing that quest 3 times. You know what? I don't even need this fucking charm. We'll sell you. Bet that charm says like Act 1 normal. Boop. Now it's time to go after Neelathok. Neelathok is get your fucking blood pumping in higher difficulties.
The familiar scent of death.
There we go. Hold on a minute for that. You seem like the old Fallout 1 and 2 looks like a lot like this. Those are turn-based games. This isn't a turn-based game. This is it's a live action game. Like, they're still isometric though. Let's see. I don't need a tenant. I was doing the pros and cons of like why tenants aren't the greatest choice. Besides, my house is paid for. Like, I'm talking about saving money much more than like paying bills. Like, I don't really stress about the bills every month. The only bill that scares me every year is taxes. Honestly, taxes scare the shit out of me every year. Because I'm always afraid that even though I pay quarterly, I'm going to get hit with like a $7,000 bill out of nowhere. Because taxes can do that. It's happened before. Because taxes will fuck you without lube. Over and over and over again. Yeah. Ignore them and they'll start taking everything you own. Put your ass in jail. And the worst part about taxes is I live in a low income state where like the vast majority of people where I live at look at tax time as like this wonderful time of the year. It's like, it's tax season, I'm getting my tax money. I'm like, good for you, bud. I've gotten tax money 1.5 times in my fucking adult life. Because like even before I started YouTube, I made like $80,000 a year.
DCS ranging.
240, nominal to profile.
You said, well, maybe if we make more money. Literally, just you play with Dello. He literally has over 500,000 followers, and he plays Warzone crossplay, so you guys could play together. I mean, like, he's never asked me to play with him. These death brawlers hit like trucks. But they are weak as hell against the poison. Fucking torment worm. Have you ever met anyone with Twister into games that you enjoy talking to? Why not have some voice chat while you're playing your single player games? Again, the same problem. Like, I would love to chat with people randomly while playing these games. But like, it always ends up being the same thing. Hey Wings, can I ask you a question? And then they'll ask some troll shit or like something that's borderline troll shit, and it'll just start like a whole controversy up. And if you get multiple people in the chat room, they'll be talking about something they like, and the chat ends up hating that because it turns into like a stream of people that they never even met. feel like I need... Damn, I'm level 40 already. Holy shit. I'm gonna be like level 45 by the time I beat Bale. When I used to podcast, I did the same thing though. What do you mean? Is a gallon of hash browns from Dollar Tree really something you desire to have though? Like honestly, if somebody goes like, "Hey, I got a gallon of hash browns from the Dollar Tree. You want in on this? For free." And I'd still be like, maybe not. No, I'm good. Oh, crap. When your husband gets laid off, you can't find a job for 2+ years. Here's the thing with that, right? Not being able to find a job for 2+ years. I understand that that's a thing that's based on area, right? But I feel like something like that's also based on standards. Right, if it came down to like, yo, I'm having trouble finding a job in a field that I want to work in, or like, you know, a job that pays all of my like normal way of life. Like, 'cause I understand, like you just working any job doesn't pay for your way of life. Like, say, like if I went to work at McDonald's right now, I couldn't keep up the standard of life that I enjoy having, right? Because McDonald's doesn't pay enough. McDonald's pays like $260 a week. Right, like it would take literally like 3 weeks to pay my truck payment at McDonald's. But if it came to the point where like I'm not making money anyway, and I gotta choose between eating a gallon of hash browns from the Dollar Tree or like eating like a Stouffer's lasagna, I'd go work at fucking McDonald's. Because at nothing else, you're out in the workforce and you can make connections for other people. Because lots of people in different walks of life come and eat at motherfucking McDonald's. Or something along that line. Yeah, I don't know people's struggle. Dog, I've been poor. I've been fucking poor, dog. Like I almost would say I've been more. I've lived in houses that most of you motherfuckers never even walked into. I've been like dirt poor, like roaches crawling up through holes in the floor poor, water in your fucking cereal poor, government cheddar cheese block poor. Section 8 housing poor. Hell, Section 8 housing was better than some of the houses I lived in. Yeah, government cheddar. That, like, we used to get cheese, and they'd come in like these brown paper bags, and they'd be like this orange block of cheddar. And you'd take them and you put it on fucking the cheapest bread you could and make these grilled cheese sandwiches that were like super thick. I mean, like, you believe this or not, but the system doesn't want you to succeed. I remember my mother was on, like, benefits, like welfare and stuff like that, and she got Section 8 housing. And when she was on Section 8 housing, her housing bill was basically free. But when my aunt gave her a $5 an hour job, and she was working, I don't know, 30 hours a week, pulling, was that $150 in or some shit like that? Her house rent went from free to like $300 a month. So now, 2 of her checks out of the month are paying for the same place she was getting for free when she didn't work. At that point, a lot of people get in that situation and be like, well, if I continue to make money under the table, I can continue to live here for free.
Good afternoon.
Shit like that happens.
Stay a while and listen.
That's a setup, dog. Set up to keep your ass down. Dude, I play games, man. Like does it really matter if I'm better at single player or multiplayer games? I try to play the best of my ability on everything, but I have a very slow prodding style regardless of what I'm playing. Is Necro my favorite class? No, it's not. I mainly played like Tank Barbarian in this game. When I started this character, I asked what build you want me to see, and Poison Necromancer won out. And I've never built a Poison Necromancer, so that's what we're doing. We're playing a Necromancer that's mainly poison and trying to make it work.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Let's see. Nah, he tried 2004. One was a temperature that screwed us with weeks. They called him out at a time, and the shit job at a gas station night before he found the one he got. Yeah, I'm not trying to say, hey, Sploosh, long time no see, bud. I'm not trying to say, like, that kind of stuff, but, like, and I understand, like, you eat shit, right? Because like, there's a reason Dollar Tree exists. Right? Like, there's a channel that I watch that basically cooks food from the Dollar Tree. And, like, you kind of see how much water Dollar Tree stuff has in it and stuff like that. But, like, every time Dollar Tree has, like, those 8-ounce ribeyes that they sell, those things sell the fuck out. And they're fucking shit. Like, they're so fucking shit. And, like, people will go and buy them in stacks. Because, like, there's a lot of people that live below the poverty line. And I'm blessed in that regard. They're just full of water, dude. That's the big problem with them. They're full of water. Like, 30 or 40% of like the volume of those Dollar Tree ribeye steaks is 100% water. So like when you put them in a pan, they come out all greasy and shit. Like the pan just gets real watery, and most of it burns off, and they shrink really badly. Like the worst part about Dollar Tree shit is like they have names like Chef's Choice. What fucking chef chose this? Like the only chef that chose this was a chef that cooks crack for a living. That's the only chef that really chose this. That's the only thing that dude masters in cooking is crack cocaine. Uh-oh. Dollar Tree has groceries. At least they do in South Carolina. You can get groceries at the Dollar Tree. You can get mashed potatoes. You can get macaroni and cheese in the box. You can get. They have a whole grocery section, like a Walmart. And all of the shit's $1. And it's all fucking nasty. Like Brandy used to eat off that shit, because like Brandy was very bad with money. She made good money, but like she was bad with it. Like for example, like if Brandy's rent was due on the 1st and it was the 28th, and she got paid in the last week of that month, and she got paid, you know, $710, and her rent was $600. I'm making these numbers up, by the way. She would go spend $200 of that at the fucking Goodwill on like used dresses. Neelathok on higher difficulties is scary as fuck because he has Corpse Explosion. And Corpse Explosion is done by a percentage of enemy health. So like later difficulties, like one of these like ice spawns will fuck you up. I have poison. Like like two of my spills is like one requires a corpse. I have a golem that I gave myself, so I'm like not 100% of poison. But I do have a basic golem which will help tank, because necromancers aren't that great at tanking. but like basically this, like this is Poison Nova. It does 600 damage over 2 seconds. So you just basically wait 2 seconds, cast it again. Wait 2 seconds, cast it again. And slow but surely will kill Neelathok. Put low resistance back on him. It's like I was gonna try to let my mercenary kill this dude, but like he's moving around too much. The mercenary doesn't do enough damage to him. Got him. In higher difficulties, this is a quest you don't do, because essentially the ward is nothing. That's a tanky Thok.
Good day.
Alright, so go to Anya, and basically the reward for Neelathok is to customize an item, which you never want to do because it destroys the trade value. You know, that's done. So back to the Crystalline Passage, and we can go to the Glacial Passage now. Go back to Fire Golem. There we go. The Glacial Trail. Yeah, that is the only good thing about Neelathok's quest. You get access to Pendle Skin, which Pendle Skin later on in games has one of the best drop rates for like. He's a super unique, so super uniques have a higher drop table than anything else in the game. So like if you're in an area and like your drop rate for like an item is like tier 20, Neelathok might drop tier 22 or tier 23. So like he's really good for that kind of stuff. Honestly, if anything's going to kill me, it's either going to be the Minions of Destruction or it's going to be Bale himself. Or it's going to be like a boss with like Cursed and extra strong, which I don't think they can. I don't think that can actually happen on basic difficulty because we're not Nightmare yet. I think they only get one modifier.
Not enough mana.
Yeah, you don't get 2 drop beasts till Nightmare. You should be fine. Yeah, like Cursed extra strong is one-shot territory, and this game has something which I'm wondering if they're going to fix in the new version, which is there's a situation where
fire enchanted does so much damage that it will just kill you no matter where you're at on the screen. Because fire is basically corpse explosion. Because fire enchanted, they basically do corpse explosion, and their health is so high that it will just one shot you no matter what your health is. Like, it's really bad with the ancients because the ancients have like hundreds of thousands of points of health, and there's just nothing you can do but get your shit ruined. So that right there does it. Like that guy had fire thing. Like on like nightmare difficulty, that could have been my ass, right? Like right there, he's extra strong and magic resistance, so he's got a double dip. And he's dropped Curb's Ward. The best item I've ever found out one of these gold chests was Talrash's plate. It dropped by itself, just bloop. Talrash's plate, I'm like, fuck yes. Okay, no comment. What do you think is the best shortstop? J-Ram's the third baseman. So Manny Machado is also like third baseman. Or did he go back to shortstop?
I need mana.
No, I'm not in NBA at all. There's the frozen tundra. That's where we need to go, but I want to find the waypoint here. Pizza payday. Hey, have a slice. Hey, Jordy, I remember seeing you pulling a Monster Manual on early peak. I was wondering if you ever played Dungeons and Dragons. I have. I've done Dungeon Master and Player, but I prefer Player because, like with Dungeon Master, for me, it's too big of a letdown. Like you want to challenge the people, but at the same time, you don't want to kill the character off. But like it's hard to find a happy balance where like the counter that you're giving people is a challenge to them. Because I found like every challenge I gave people, which I thought was going to like really test their characters, usually would end up with them demolishing my challenge. It's like, well, fuck. And then you got loot pools and shit like that you got to do. It's like just the creation of the story and how players can destroy it by like going off in one way makes being a dungeon master really hard. And like it takes a rare breed of person to actually be a dungeon master. DMing, it's not, I wouldn't call it stressful, but it can be, it's not very rewarding. The problem with Dungeons and Dragons is getting a whole group together. And I haven't really played Dungeons and Dragons in so fucking long. So like the last time I already played it was fucking 3.5. So when I play Dungeons and Dragons, I want to play 3.5 because that's the one I'm most intimate with. So question, I don't know this answer offhand. Here is a 2004 Monte Carlo. It has a bad transmission in it. I have access to a 2002 Monte Carlo with a bad motor, but good transmission. Like a completely rebuilt transmission. Like it's not just like the transmission's still good, but old. Would the 3400 transmission mount up to the 3800? Since they're both essentially the same family of engines. They both come from the 60 degree GM family. Monte Carlo's a trash car, just forget about it. Again, like, you're talking out your ass, homie. What about the Monte Carlo makes it a trash car? Let's hear your reasoning behind it.
At your service.
The 3800 does have more power, but we're talking about like 15 horsepower here. Enemies hit like fucking trains, dog. Wonder who I could ask that question to. Alright, let's do some in real life stuff. IRL. Just chatting. Let's sit here and chat for a little bit. No, we're not doing a house tour right now. The Monte Carlo is a big boat. Everybody's done an engine swap. Nobody's done the transmission swap. Well, here's the thing with the Monte Carlo, right? It's not that it's a sports car that doesn't have a whole lot of ass to it. But the 3800 Series 2 engine that they put in them in that year will go until the end of time. All right. Like everybody like worships Toyota for reliability, and the R22 is is where people want the reliability to be at, right? But what a lot of people don't understand about the R22 engine, it puts out like fucking 70 to 90 crank horsepower depending what application that you have into it, right? It has tappet lifters, and it could pretty much run without oil because it basically has no power whatsoever. It has two balancing shafts in it. It's just a motor that will keep running and keep running and keep running, right? There's other motors made out there that do that. Like the 3800 GM is one of those motors that I've personally seen one with 500,000 miles on it. I've personally seen a 3800 Series 2 with 500,000 miles on it. Like the LS motors, like the 6 liter, the 4.8, the 5.3 from like the GMT 800, from LS1 to like LS3 series, those will run until the end of fucking time. I've never seen one blow up. I'm sure they have at some point, but I've seen people sit there raw dog them to the point that, you know, like this engine should be blowing up, and it doesn't. A zombie shooter, like there's actually a YouTube channel that drove an R22 like 60 or 70 miles without oil before it actually blew up. Yeah, I'm about to head out too here in a minute. Well, I live deep in Chevrolet country. And around here, like what you mainly see is Chevrolets. So like any given day, you can meet probably 100 different LS engines that have 300,000 miles on them, and they'll have boys with like these yee mobiles. Let me show you. Let me show you, motherfuckers. Like this shit. Pull you back over here. Like the vast majority of these are Chevrolet. And the reason that is because the LS engine can handle this shit. And like every one of these cars, like this right here, like that's a 2002. That's probably got That's 300,000 or 400,000 miles on it, and they'll sit in like the Sonic parking lot and just rev their engine over and over and over and over again. They're the shit like that, and like I've seen them put them in the mud and all this other shit, and they just keep going. They just keep fucking going. I think that's a 4Runner. I've never seen one actually blow up. How good are Pontiac G6s? I mean, like, I think the G5 was a Cobalt replica. The G6 is essentially a Malibu. It all depends on what motor you have in it. Like, the G6, I think, could have the 2.4 Ecotech, which it's good for like 150,000 miles or a little bit more than that. I've seen them as high as 230,000 miles, but they generally have oil issues and they start burning more and more oil as they go on because they have they have bad piston rings in them. But like, yeah, you can't kill the LS engine. Like the LS engine is stout as fuck. Like I've seen LS engines that have like rod bearings, right? Sit there squeaking and still fucking going. Like it's obviously there's a main bearing gone in the engine and it still runs. Like it takes a lot of abuse to kill like those GMLS engines. But dent on my head, yeah, I have a dent right there. Well, I'm just saying, like people that because people are calling the Monte Carlo bad. The 3.8 is essentially an LS engine with 2 less cylinders. Honestly, like the 4.3 is the LS engine with 2 less cylinders, but the 3.8 is a fucking wonderful engine. It's easy to work on. It lasts for fucking ever. Parts are plentiful, and you can't kill it. And it puts out the right number of horsepower. To me, 200 horsepower at the crank is what you need for a fun daily driver. It's got adequate acceleration. It goes 0 to 60 just fine. You can merge in traffic just fine with it. LS engines are ancient technology though, but that's also why they're so stout. Like those old, overhead cam pushrod V8s that will last 500,000 miles but get like 10 miles to the gallon. They'll still be around when like some of these 2.7 liter 4-cylinder, turbo engines that have like, dual overhead cams, shit like that are in the junkyard. Hey, Grayson. What you up to, Putty? Look at that. It's the second I turned it over to just chatting, we jumped over 300 viewers. We literally jumped 75 viewers the second I switched over. 2-valve Mustangs? They're not very fast, but 2-valve Mustangs will last till the end of time. That 4.6 valve, that's a strong engine. But they put out like, what, 170 horsepower to the wheel or some shit like that? They're not very fast for Mustangs. Why would anybody need a car to last? Most people don't, honestly. That's why when people ask me, like, what new car should I buy? Any car you fucking want. Every car every car that's made right now will make it through the manufacturer period. Like the manufacturer warranty, the 60,000 miles. Every car will make it through that for the most part. And if they don't, fuck it. They'll put a new engine in for you. If you buy new cars all the time, don't give a fuck what you got. If you want a Hemi, go get a fucking Hemi. If you want, you know, a Nissan, go get you a Nissan. Just make sure you get ready to them bitches by the time the drivetrain, powertrain rolls up. Because I guarantee you, when you got that Nissan Titan that you bought, like, when 71,000 miles rolls around, you put a new transmission in that bitch on your dime. Do I think Mustang Week will ever come back? It's still a thing here in Myrtle Beach. I mean, like, it didn't happen last year because of COVID. But, yeah, Mustang Week's very popular around here for businesses. It's most likely coming back. Warranties are done by time and mileage. Like, you have, it's 5 years, 60,000 miles for drivetrain warranties usually in America. Like, the manufacturer will guarantee that the transmission and engine work for 60,000 miles. It's a French Renault. Like, Renault is actually considered a terrible car company here in America. And Renault is one of the reasons Nissan's such a piece of shit right now, because they own like 40% of Nissan. They basically bought into Nissan and started cutting their quality, because Nissans used to be built stout, like an old Datsun pickup. Those Datsun pickups were fucking stout. Engines, Nissan still builds good ass motors. It's the fact that they have those fucking CVT transmissions is what fucks them up. I don't know what's for breakfast. I'm about to go get me some breakfast though. Probably get some breakfast. Come back a little bit later, probably like 2 or 3 o'clock. Play some Warzone. Can I do a J turn? Yeah. Will I? No. I don't think it's going to be 15 years from now. Like, it's projected right now by 2035, right? So like that's 15 years from now that like General Motors is supposed to be all green. So it's going to be a mixture between gas, hybrid, electricity, and other things. But I have a feeling that something's going to happen that's going to increase the life of internal combustion engine. Most likely, it's already happening. Like for right now, like the lithium cells are proving that they don't last that long in a car configuration. Marcus, hello, my man Marcus, my friend JP, a huge fan. Overwatch your stream every day live. Love your content. Well, thank you, Marcus, and thank you, JP.
Hello,
Appreciate
my
the
name is
money, boys.
Marcus. Me and my friend JP are huge fans. We watch her stream every time her live and we love her content. Much love, Wings.
The like right now, like the lithium ion batteries that they're putting in the first generation Teslas are starting to have like this refracting happening in the batteries, which is causing shorts in the batteries, which is causing them to prematurely fail. And you know the fact that those lithium ion batteries are so heavy and so hard to replace, and they're so expensive. Like what's a rack of like batteries right now on a Tesla? They're $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Some are $12,000 for like a battery bank. And like the fact is that like lithium ion might not be the future of electric cars. Like they're going to need another power plant. And that's a huge walnut to crack. Have I ever been in high-speed pursuit with the police? No. Different type of lithium batteries, Crown Prince. I think the ones in cars are called Life Po Forces, which, you know, they're these huge cells. It's LYFEPO, Life Po Force. Well, you could always get the electric Mustang, the Mach-E, which is basically a crossover with a Mustang horse on it. I don't actually know a whole lot about Nissan CVT transmissions other than the fact they're unreliable. And the reason they're unreliable is because they don't have a proper cooling system in them. They're very, very subjective to heat. So if you don't take care of it, you don't maintenance it properly, it's going to fucking fail on you. Your wife wants a Cadillac? Don't buy a used one. Especially if you go in Escalade. Like the problem with like my truck and like other trucks like that, I would have never bought my truck with any substantial amount of miles on it. Like I bought my truck as a GM certified vehicle, but it only had 7,600 miles on it. It literally had went through its the guy who owned it before me did one oil change on it before I got a hold of it, right? So like one elongated oil change is fine because I've changed the oil every 4,000 miles since then. But like those GMs, they're very, very particular about oil changes. Their EGR setup system generally has it burn some variants of oil from brand new. And if you get one that was neglected at all, you're going to be changing the VLOM and the two-piece lifters, which is going to set you back $3,000 or $4,000. I mean, I consider myself my truck's first owner, even though like on paper I'm not. I'm the second owner because like the first guy, like the story they gave me was that because like I know the truck was bought at Palmetto Chevrolet. It was bought by an old man. He drove it for a while, and he kept. They found him driving on the wrong side of the road with it, and his kids took it from him and they sold it back to Palmetto Chevrolet because he had paid cash for it. Palmetto Chevrolet bought it back and it sat on their lot a year before I came and bought it. That's why it had 7,600 miles on it. Thought about investing in solar panels on your house? Maybe. I mean, like, here's the thing with solar panels. They cost like $30,000 and you can get them financed. And like, the problem is, do you want to go $30,000 in debt, right? Because they change out your roof and put solar panels on it at the same time. And when you do that, your electric bill is going to go way down, and like you basically be paying your electric bill to your solar panel bill. But after 10 or 15 years, you won't have an electric bill anymore. See you, Ronan. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. Yeah, solar panels aren't cheap on houses, and like I used to go to the movies with a girl that sells solar panels. Like that's all she does is sell solar panels, and like they prey on the elderly. Honestly, like solar panel companies right now prey on people that own houses, and they use their house as collateral to put like a new roof on their house, and they need a new roof on their house, and they do it by putting solar panels on by promising them that they'll save electricity and things like that. So like right now, solar panel companies are almost 100% propped up by the elderly that needs roofs. I'd rather have a solar panel than a windmill. Windmill will be loud and blow a lot of wind around. It does get blown by the wind, but it also, the fact that it gets blown by the wind, it takes that energy and transfers it into like electricity form, but it also creates wind as well, because there's always some kind of like leakage, energy leakage. I mean, like, if there wasn't, you know, you'd basically have a perpetual engine at that point. I'm not, whatever, man. Energy leakage, wind leakage, whatever you want to call it. Like, my finger technically doesn't blow wind right now, but there's still, it still basically takes and circulates wind and redirects it. It takes some of the wind that it takes. It takes some of the wind that it takes in to turn the turbine, which basically creates like electricity, but it still creates that wind. Not to mention they're loud as fuck if you're up close to them. This is as complex answers people want me to talk about. Again, I don't know anything about windmills, but I know that anything that moves basically disturbs wind. And when you're moving in a circular pattern, like a fucking fan, it's going to create wind of its own. Yeah, just imagine having a windmill on the top of your house. All right, boys. I'm Audi 5000. Let's do the donation rundown. Thank you, Marcus, for the $10. Thank you, DJ Gog, for the pizza money. Thank you, Jerry C, for the $10 as well. Big Oz, thank you, Pimp Trisket, for $10. Thank you, Alba Guy, for the 10. Thank you, Diablo for Life, for the 5. And thank you, Albano Barislaw, for the 5. And thank you, West Berkshire Gamers, for the 5 gifted subs. Thanks, everybody, for coming out and chilling with your boy. I'm Audi 5000. I'll see you guys a little bit later today.